Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to show you how you can solve the edges faster on a 4x4 using the 3-2-3 edge pairing method. So let's get right into it. So a little while back I showed you all how to do the half centers method where you solve the centers using the half slices, and now I'm going to show you how you can advance that using the 3-2-3 edges method where you solve the edges faster just like you did with the half centers a couple weeks ago. So first what you need to do is when you're pairing your last center, what you need to do is I have these two bars and I'm ready to pair it together with a wide U move or a wide R move. But first what you need to do is you need to see on this middle layer if there's any of the last white edge. So since I have all of my other edges on this layer solved except for the orange one, I need to see if there's any of the last edge on the middle layer, which is the orange and white one, and it's right here. So I need to find the other pair right here. Now this is a bit of a trick because you can pair your last edge really easily. So instead of moving up like that, you rotate so you can put the yellow on the top. Then you can put this edge in right here using a hedge slammer or a RU prime R prime. So since it's in this case where they're different colors, what you need to do is you need to do a hedge slammer just like that, and then it pairs it together, and then you can insert it and then align the cross just like that. Now another trick is when you're pairing your last center, what you want to do is if you insert this one, you see that this edge is the green and the orange one. And you know that green and orange is a pair because it's not a yellow edge. So I found my other green and orange one right here, and then I can insert it just like that. And now that makes my first F12 pair. And then this one, as you can see, is red and green. So if I wanted to, I can put that one just like that. So when I do a U move, it pairs those both together. Now you really only need one F12 pair, but you can still use two, but you don't really need two at the beginning, you just need one. So I have that pair right there, and then I can insert it, and that's already one slot solved. Now I want to teach you guys this one trick because this can help save you a lot of time and it can keep you from wasting your time. So if you ever come to this case or you ever have two or more solved edges and you're still doing half centers like I am right here, what I would recommend doing is not looking to preserve the edges because it'll take longer when you're trying to find moves to preserve them. Instead, what you just want to do is just keep moving on with your half centers. So make sure that you ignore the edges when doing your half centers because then they could waste your time and keep you from getting at your fast speed if you're trying to find ways to preserve them. So for example, I would just move right through that and I would not look to preserve the edges because there's no need to. And then I can just move on with my half centers. Now the orange one did get preserved, but none of the other ones did, so it's okay because you don't need to preserve all the edges when doing your half centers, and that's what 3-2-3 edge pairing is for. Now you may come to an unlucky case where, as you can see, I don't have any edges solved, so what you need to do is you need to find two edges that are on the middle layer that can be paired together. So I have these two red and green edges. Now you need to make sure, like you learned in the beginner method, that they're on opposite slices just like that. Then you slice over. Then as you can see, we have this edge right here. So this edge right here is the yellow and orange one, and we have the other one right here. So instead of just inserting a random edge like that and then slicing back, what you can do is you can put this edge in this slot right here, so when it slices back, it'll move there. So what you do is, since they're different colors, you do a hedge slammer just like that. Then when you slice back, that will pair those together. But you still can do a lot more. So since this one is a yellow and green one, what you can do is you can put the yellow and green one in, but that's an unlucky case. As you can see, the yellow and green is on the bottom. So since that's an unlucky case, instead of moving that one right there onto the top, what you can do is you can just slice back and then insert a solved edge into that part. And that's what you do in an unlucky part because, as you can see, I didn't have a lot of solved edge and that was just unlucky. So since that was an unlucky part, then I can just start the 3-2-3 again. So what I first do is I find that I have this edge and I have these two, so I can just flip this one. I can slice. And then I want to pair this one because what you want to do is pair the white edge as soon as possible. So what you can do is I can take this edge out from the back and then insert it into the front, so when I slice back, it'll slice right there. But the thing is, with 3-2-3 edge pairing, you don't want to stop until you can solve 3 edges in the middle layer. So instead of just solving one at a time, you can solve 3. So I have this yellow and green, and I can do a hedge slammer to insert that one. Then I have this one right here, and I can insert it just like that. Now, I don't want to take out the orange one, so that's as much as we can do. But as you can see, we have this edge, this edge, and this edge all paired in the same layer. So that is really important if you want to pair 3 edges at the same time, and then I can solve the cross just like that. Now once you have your first set of the cross done, what I'd recommend doing is doing your F12 pairs, because that will save up time later in the solve. So I can do this pair right there, just like that, and then I can rotate over here and look onto my next edges. So what I can do is I can flip this edge, and most of you by now should already know the flipping algorithm. Then I can insert this edge right here to pair those two, and then I'm done. Now I can move on to my F12. So kind of like half centers, 3-2-3 edge pairing is kind of hard to understand at first, but once you practice, it should get very easy for you. So I have these 2 bars for my last center, and I can pair them up just like that, but before I see that I have this edge right here, and I have this edge right here, so I can insert that in there. Now conveniently, the orange and blue ones already are there, and then what I also can do is I can solve that edge to finish that off. Then what I can do is I can insert the edge into the cross, so that would be a D, move just like that. And now I have my cross solved. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve my first F12 pair just like this. And now I have that slot solved, so I don't need to worry about it. Then what I see is I have these 2 edges right here. I have the orange and yellow. Then I can pair those up, insert this edge into there, rotate, and then I have this edge right here, and I can flip, and then it sliced back, and then it's right there. Then I have these 2. And then you can either do the algorithm for the last 2 or the last 3, but you don't need to do any flip algorithms until you have this case where there's the 2 right there. So you need to make sure that you do the algorithm for the last 2 edges or the last 3, and you don't always come to this case, because if you have 3 edges, then you could solve those together too. So I slice, flip, slice back, and then I have all of my edges done plus 1 F12 pair. So the 3-2-3 edge pairing method can help a lot, and many professional speed solvers for 4x4 use the 3-2-3 edge pairing method. It makes your edges solve a lot faster. Instead of just solving 1 at a time, you can solve at most 3 at a time, which is really convenient. Also, like I showed you, you can solve your cross easily with solving the last edge into the cross that you haven't solved while solving the rest of the center, so that's also very convenient. And on top of that, you can also solve your first F12 pair, which really helps a lot, so you don't have to look at that slot. So I can solve all these edges without looking at the solved F12 pair. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video on how I showed you how to do the 3-2-3 edge pairing. I hope this video helped a lot, and I hope this helped you learn how to do 3-2-3 edge pairing. Make sure that you practice your 3-2-3 edge pairing so you can solve your last cross piece, your first F12 pair, and the rest of the edges really fast. Make sure, if you haven't already, to check out my half centers video, because that also will help you solve your half centers fast. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content, and I'll catch you all in the next one.